Today, Tusculum College introduced its 25th baseball coach here at Tusculum University, which will be the first coach under the new logo, the new header at Tusculum University, and he is Brandon Steele. Takes over as the second coach as well in the Division II era for a guy who has some pretty big shoes to fill. Brandon, number one, congratulations.
Thank you.
Number two, as we talked a little bit about that, Doug Jones. You know, when you mention the name, synonymous with the program, with the university, now the school, and this great program and what he has built. What does it mean to follow in his footsteps?
Well, not just within the program here, but within the conference. He's been around the league for 21 years and has really set the bar as far as what the expectation is for a consistent program. And to be able to have the opportunity to follow him is a tremendous honor. But also, there's a lot of expectations. And I have expectations for the direction of the program as does Coach Jones. And moving forward, I think we're in a situation with our change of name that's going to give us an opportunity to rebrand the institution, and it gives us a chance to maybe rebrand the program a little bit while still honoring what we've done in the past and what he was able to develop and build over his 21 years here. So it's an exciting time moving forward. I'm sure a lot of our players are itching to get back after last year, feeling a little bit underwhelmed as far as the way we performed, and with a lot of the newcomers that will be welcoming. The roster currently is in a good situation. Just missing a couple pieces we have to finish up this summer.
Personally, your emotions being named, how did it hit you? How did it hit the family?
Well, really, I haven't prepared myself for the emotional, overwhelming things that kind of flew at me. I thought this was going to be a little bit easier. I prepared and kind of rehearsed what I was going to say. And once the emotions hit me, I got off track pretty quickly. But it's overwhelming just personally from the things I've had to do and sacrifice to stay in this game that I love so much and have the opportunity to continue to be here at this institution that I have most respect and love for Tusculum as far as the direction they're going and what we've done in the past. And really, from a family perspective, what my wife and my daughter go through on a season basis as far as the hours, the travel, all the things that are involved with that, and just having their full support really just means a lot because without them giving me this opportunity from a support perspective, I couldn't accept this position because I couldn't do this half-heartedly. I'd have to be able to fully commit to doing what this program deserves and what our players deserve, and that's really to be fully engaged in helping us move forward.
Without question, the resume for this Pioneer baseball program speaks for itself and what it's done. But I also think over the last 3 or 4 years, what I have seen is a tremendous growth baseball in the South Atlantic Conference itself. You miss that one starting pitcher and it puts you behind the 8 ball. You miss that one guy in the lineup that will get you that 2-out hit. It puts you behind the 8 ball because teams are recruiting at such a high level right now. What you mentioned in your press conference when you said we have a great foundation, and with some foundation we require some change, and I think that's what everybody has seen in the South Atlantic Conference. What are some of the key aspects you think you need to develop to keep Tusculum at the top, which is where it has been over the last 20 years in the South Atlantic Conference?
Well, I think we have to do a better job of getting back to our roots and recruiting within our region. I think that's something we got away from years ago. Baseball wasn't as strong as it is now in the high school and the junior college level, and in the last 5 or 6 years there's been a tremendous growth in summer baseball. So players are going out playing and developing, so there are many more players for us to actively recruit, but we kind of got in the model that we're focusing more geographically around the country as opposed to locally. And you can just look at Walter State, what they've done this year.
Yeah.
They've got a roster primarily made of Tennessee players, and we have to make sure that we can get our foot in the door and make sure we can get our presence known, that we will recruit this area in the Tri-Cities, in East Tennessee, in Knoxville, and try and get some of the premium players in our program. It's only going to help us in terms of brand recognition for the institution and our program within the region, and it's going to help us as far as having that sense of ownership from alumni and community engagement and things moving forward.
Obviously, as well, it helps when you can bring in some people from outside of the region as well. We just had the World Series, the Junior College World Series here on campus. What does that mean to you as coaches when you were assistant, even to have that here in your own backyard with what is afforded here at Tusculum, with now the Greenville Reds being here and the Greenville Astros prior to them? How does that help in your recruiting stance, and has it ramped up right now with you being named the head coach?
Well, obviously, it speaks volumes as far as the facilities we have and what this community can do as far as hosting an event like that. Last year was the first time we had this event here, and we saw, a tremendous amount of talent. It's just we kind of got a little behind because our focus recruiting at that time was players that are on our roster now. And with the lapse in as far as when Coach Jones announced that he was stepping down and the head coach being named, a lot of players that we were recruiting kind of put us on the back burner. And I really feel that having this tournament when we did last week, it gives us the opportunity to really recruit those players hard because we're fresh in their mind. They were just here. They had an on-campus experience, which is always a challenge when you recruit outside this region, is getting those people on campus to truly see what you have to offer. And obviously, they're still available. They're some of the best players at the Division III junior college level because their teams made it this far. So we're actively recruiting those players right now, and we have a tremendous list of names as far as freshmen to really start working on at the end of the summer towards their sophomore year. So I think we can really get a benefit from the recruiting aspect of it. Last year we were able to get 2 players out of it. One of them particularly had a great year for us, and really look forward to him developing it and being an even part of what we're doing this year. So it is a huge focus obviously for the community, but for us as a baseball program, we've done whatever we can to make sure we can utilize that any way we can. Having a few teams return this year, but we had 5 new teams that weren't here last year. So as this thing continues to go, we're going to have teams from all over the country that had never thought of Greenville, Tennessee or Tusculum University until they get here and really are blown away and overwhelmed with what a baseball opportunity would be here.
I can sit here and say the numbers, the conference championships, the tournament titles, the NCAA appearances that this program brings, and right now this is your platform. There's a lot of kids right now that are going to say, oh, that we've announced the coach, and who's it going to be, and now who is it, and how do I go forward? How do you sell this program right now?
Well, I believe the fact that I've been a part of what Coach Jones has developed here in honoring the tradition and the expectations and the culture within the program, but really putting a more, new age spin on it, you can say, because with our players that we're recruiting now, there's a depth of knowledge in terms of spin rates and analytics, and the baseball game is really going that direction in the high school and summer baseball route, and these kids don't really have an understanding of it. So we have to do a great job of truly developing a deep knowledge of it and having some tools here within our facility to help us use that as a teaching opportunity and also as a recruiting tool when we're evaluating players. Not teaching someone to have a certain exit velocity or a launch angle, but really put a good swing on the baseball. The game hasn't changed at all. We still have to throw strikes, play catch at a high level, and hit. But with having this technology and some of the preconceived concepts they have when they get here, we have to make sure that we're prepared to be able to deal with them. And even from a pitching perspective, with drive line has become a big thing with pitchers these days. And as a staff, we have to embrace that and truly become experts in that to be able to service our student athletes when they get here.
Yeah, I agree. Doug's still in the Atari mode. You got to move forward, and you got to go on and bring in this new stuff. But he was always a great interview. That was the thing too. There's familiarity with the staff as well. I know that Todd Ireland being here and being part of the program is still very important and very crucial. And we got a little bit of a mix-up there as well, going out looking for some new guys to be part of this program as well from a coaching perspective. What does it mean to have Todd with you?
Well, it means the world. I have the utmost respect for him, his work ethic, his dedication to this program, this institution, and I really am grateful for his friendship and him being somewhat of a mentor to help me through the last 15 years as I've grown. But that being said, he and I have both been with Coach Jones for a very long time, and we need to get some new energy, new eyes, and new ideas in the program to help us move forward. The model was great. We were very successful for a long time, but outside factors had changed within the state. Obviously, the promise had changed things here. Other states have gone to that model as far as junior colleges. And we really have to make sure that we're positioning ourselves within this crazy recruiting world, to make sure we can get the players we need to be successful. Because you can coach them up all you want, you got to have good players. And having someone else who maybe has a different area of of recruiting expertise in terms of a region of the state, of the country. I think it's going to be a great benefit for us. So I look forward to having the opportunity of trying to get some people here in place and really hit the ground running.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir. He's Brandon Steele. He is the 25th coach in Tusculum history, but he's the first guy to take Tusculum to the university level.